the future financial market is much bigger. It's a combination of the two universes, if you like. So the number that will end up on chain will dwarf the financials market today, but the period of transition is going to take some time. We're living and breathing this at the moment where we might have a good idea that, okay, collateral is going to move on chain. That's great, but you've got to go out there and get some of the biggest banks in the world, clearinghouses, CSDs, customers to all move towards using those types of transactions, and that's going to take a long time. But I reckon over the next, 1 to 3 years, we should see a good couple of trillion on there at least, and then 5 to 10 years, I think a tokenized issuance will be the norm.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, we have so many developing fundamentals that are breaking that are never going to reach the mainstream, showing you all for a fact that a new financial system is being built out behind the scenes and that laws are being put in place to help global jurisdictions adopt these digital assets at a rapid pace. With that being said, if you all enjoy these deep dives, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Thank you all so much for returning. We do appreciate the love and the support. With that being said, let's jump into today's fundamentals. We have some reports to read for you all today and some video clips to play. So make sure that you stick around for the entirety of this video breakdown. It is going to be an absolute banger. We are going to start here. This is a phenomenal post shared to me by Loretta Joseph. If you don't follow this individual on X, we'll get to her profile in just 1 second. Make sure that you go give her a follow. Such a pioneer in this space and an individual who is helping shape the future financial landscape as we speak. New Commonwealth model law to help countries regulate virtual assets. What just happened? Again, information that the mainstream is never going to cover, considering that the vast amount of individuals are distracted by the most recent market downturn, and that is what the mainstream media is covering. They're not covering any positive developments happening behind the scenes, showing people the future trajectory of this market and where it's truly headed, which is global adoption of digital assets, CBDCs, stablecoins, and cryptocurrencies alike, finally integrated into this new financial system, which I'm going to prove for you all here today. A new model law launched by the Commonwealth will help countries regulate the rapidly growing virtual asset industry worth billions of dollars globally. The model law, which presented at a high-level event hosted by the Commonwealth at its headquarters in London on the 8th of July, 2024. So this is all updated in recent information. Virtual assets are relatively a new part of the global financial sector, making regulation an essential part to protect consumers, tackle illicit activity, and maintain market stability. The model law takes principal approaches to regulating virtual assets in line with the international standards set out by the Financial Action Task Force, so this is massive, a global rulemaking body. It provides a broad suite of provisions, including licensing virtual assets such as virtual currencies, defining obligations of issuers overseeing financial activities, and enforcing penalties for non-compliance. In particular, the law offers guidance on setting up a framework to prevent the use of virtual assets from money laundering and terrorism financing, while protecting customers and providing businesses with legal clarity and confidence. So you would think, considering that the mainstream media does nothing but prompt to individuals that crypto is only used for illicit market purposes and terrorist financing, that they would cover this on the mainstream, that this law is being developed and just got passed. Well, again, this is all information that the mainstream is never going to show you, which is also questionable considering the fact that, in my personal opinion, they don't want you to know that these ongoing developments are for a fact happening behind the scenes. Now, heading over to the commonwealth.com website, you can see right here, posted on July 8th, 2024. Who is this reputable individual that I mentioned? Loretta Joseph. The Commonwealth honors Loretta Joseph and her work with the new model law for digital assets. The Digital Commonwealth Ambassador, Loretta Joseph, will pause right there and let's just cover what the Commonwealth is for those of you all who do not know. We can see right here, heading over to this fundamental piece, what is the Commonwealth? It is a voluntary association of 53 independent, equal sovereign countries. The reason why I'm reading this to you all is extremely important to show you all how imperative it is that you pay attention to research like that in which we put out to the general public here at CYPRX. It is home to 2.4 billion people and includes both advanced economies and developing nations. 31 of its members are small states, many of which are island nations. The organization share values and principles and are inscribed in the Commonwealth Charter. Member countries are supported by a network of more than 80 intergovernmental civil societies, culture, and professional organizations. And this is an ambassador of the Commonwealth, Loretta Joseph, right? The tireless advocate for blockchain and distributed ledger technology was handed the award at Marlborough House by the Right Honorable Baroness Patricia, hopefully I'm pronouncing her name correctly, Scotland KC, Secretary General of the Commonwealth of Nations. That is a massive accomplishment right there. An expert legal advisor with more than a quarter of a century of experience in financial services, Loretta's extensive career has provided her with a deep exposure to global financial markets, various asset classes, and emerging market environments. We're going to get into some panel discussions that Loretta Joseph took part in, sharing some important video snippets from those panel discussions. She has advised various countries, again, I repeat, she has advised various countries on developing legal and regulatory framework for virtual assets, and also advises the OECD and the OSCE, while being an expert industry participant in many international standard-setting bodies concerning the adoption of virtual assets. I want to pause right there and remind you all that Loretta Joseph, on her X profile, if we scroll right down here, went on to repost this video clip where I said to you guys back over a month ago on June 14th, this is probably one of the most important 2-minute clips that you will ever watch in your lifetime. Pay attention, the opportunity is massive and history is being made.
So take that out of the equation for a minute. But the emerging world where you don't have access to a banking system, and I work in Nigeria, Kenya, Botswana, 97% of people don't have access to financial inclusion. We in Australia have 98%, Canada, the rest of the world. You flip that on the head. All of a sudden you give people a smart device, a stable coin, a wallet. You can create, with Web3, move value. We can transfer value and assets like we've never seen in history. And that is the killer app. And you will see the development of that in the next 6 months in the emerging world like we've never seen anything. So
the vast amount of individuals are not paying attention to what is happening behind the scenes. They are completely distracted with the current market dynamics being shaken out via this most recent market downturn and not actually tapped in to the developments that are for a fact happening behind the scenes that are going to rewrite the history books. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to pay attention. I cannot stress enough that so many people are going to miss out on this opportunity because they're not doing enough research. To continue this fundamental piece, all of this experience has been channeled into creating a model law on virtual assets as a member of the Commonwealth Committee of Experts supporting the Special Commonwealth Working Group. Officially launched today, as of July 8th, 2024, to coincide with the Pro Bono Award, the model law for virtual assets provides the Commonwealth member countries with a regulatory framework that will give much needed legislative clarity to financial markets and vital protection to customers. This was a phenomenal accomplishment. Shout out to Loretta Joseph. Her work and pioneering in this industry will not, here on the CYPRX platform, go without notice. With that being said, something that I want to share with you all that Loretta Joseph blessed off on, she DM'd me today on the X space and sent me this little tiny piece that somebody had mentioned to her. The room we made history in today, again, talking about the 8th, where they went on to obviously, of course, put this legislation into act, impacting 1/3 of the world's population through deploying the first universal digital legal framework, is the same room that the king in the 1930s eliminated the feudal system, ushering in the democratic process of government, which changed the course of history across the British Empire. From the abolishment of kings and queens' rule in the world to enabling Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies into every corner of the globe, history continues to be made. Now, remember, I mentioned to you guys in this previous post that Loretta Joseph had reposted on her X space that so many people are not paying attention to what is happening behind the scenes. Here is physical proof. This is a panel discussion labeled Connecting the Commonwealth Mansions House Summit that took place on May the 2nd, 2024. It has 20 views, people, and we're going to listen to some video clips from this. But again, take that into consideration as to what I'm trying to show you all. There are over 8 billion people on this planet, and this video breakdown has 20 views. If you go watch a TikTok of somebody doing some stupid dance on the internet or on YouTube for that matter, it will have millions of views. The vast amount of individuals are distracted by what the mainstream is funneling into your attention to distract you from what is actually happening behind the scenes. And I cannot stress enough, now is the time to be paying attention. So with that being said, we're going to listen to what Loretta Joseph says about the new financial system here, and then we're going to listen to Chris Giancarlo, who is the ex-CFTC chair, explain in further detail the new financial system and how everybody will be dealing in cryptocurrencies, stablecoins, and CBDCs. Take a second and listen.
So this is how I actually got into blockchain. In my previous life as a derivatives trader, my biggest bugbear was not trading an asset, it was clearing and settlement of the asset. So in 2012, when I looked at blockchain, I didn't look at it through a Bitcoin lens. I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, if I could atomically settle an asset instantaneously, that revolutionises financial markets. So I naively took on a stock exchange in Australia who had a piece of clearing and settlement software called CHESS, the ASX, in the Corporations Act. And I said to the Australian government, laws need to be technology agnostic. You can't have a piece of software in a Corporations Act. And I said to the finance minister, please take that out. And he said, no, Loretta, I'm not. And I said, you will, because I'll get regulatory relief from the regulator. And we did. And that was the day I got into policy. So atomically swapping assets brings efficiency, so many attributes that help the financial sector, but now goes beyond it. So I think, for me, this is where I saw the atomic settlement of Bitcoin being so incredibly powerful in transactions as we move into the new financial world. Being so incredibly powerful in transactions as we move into the new financial world.
That modern money today is changing and changing rapidly. That was the message we all heard. It's expanding from fungible cash bills and electronic notations on the balance sheets of central and commercial banks to unique digital notations on new digital infrastructure operated by global decentralized collectives, national sovereign governments, and private sector entities. In short, the internet is doing to banking and finance and money what it's already done to information gathering, Wikipedia, retail shopping, Amazon, entertainment, YouTube, social networking, Facebook and Twitter, photography, TikTok, journalism, and so much more. And what is that? Well, it's increasing speed, efficiency, and automation. It's lowering costs. It's increasing inclusion. It's unlocking new business models. And whoa, is it disrupting intermediaries and challenging the traditional financial system. Whether or not one country deploys central bank digital currency, or many do, the fact of the matter is all of us and our fellow men and women are going to be dealing with crypto, CBDC, and stable coins for years to come. The fact of the matter is all of us and our fellow men and women are going to be dealing with crypto, CBDC, and stable coins for years to come.
Now, considering what Loretta Joseph said about the new financial system, considering what Chris Giancarlo said about everybody dealing in cryptocurrencies, stablecoins, and CBDCs, I want to take your attention back to the Digital Commonwealth website, where you can see this is their homepage. And if we scroll down here and we look at their list of partners, you can see that Archax is mentioned. I want to play a video clip of the Archax CEO being asked the question, how much money do you think is going to come on chain in the form of real world asset tokenization in the future? Keep in mind, Archax is partnered with Ripple, Algo, Hedera, and the likes, and are probably going to be partnering in the near future with many other digital asset providers. Take a second and listen.
Certainly when you bring derivatives into it, which is the largest market that there is. What kind of size, and I always like to throw these fun questions out there, do you think we're going to see moving on chain? What kind of size in terms of maybe a dollar value?
The timelines that, so yeah, if you put your timeline right out, it's definitely quadrillion. Like every asset class in the world's over a quadrillion, but everyone's mostly looking at the traditional markets when they consider that. But the metaverse, for want of a better phrase, is introducing a whole lot of new financial products as well. So whether it be, NFTs, borrowing against NFTs, metaverse mortgages, the future financial market is much bigger. It's a combination of the two universes, if you like. So the number that will end up on chain will dwarf the financials market today, but the period of transition is going to take some time. We're living and breathing this at the moment where we might have a good idea that, okay, collateral is going to move on chain. That's great, but you've got to go out there and get some of the biggest banks in the world, clearinghouses, CSDs, customers to all move towards using those types of transactions, and that's going to take a long time. But I reckon over the next 1 to 3 years, we should see a good couple of trillion on there at least, and then 5 to 10 years, I think a tokenized issuance will be the norm.
Now, Loretta Joseph was asked the question on stage, is this just a pipe dream or is this a reality? Then I want to combine that with something that Digital Asset CEO was asked the question, a similar question, and goes on to confirm to you all that this is not a pipe dream. This is for a fact, a reality, and it is for a fact happening. Take a second and listen.
No, not on the FATF. On the question, is the aspiration of the Commonwealth to have a standardized framework to work to a possibility, or is it a pipe dream?
It's a reality.
So I think that one of the biggest issues that this industry had, specifically related to this technology, is that 5 years ago, there were so many promises on how this is going to change the world, but there was nothing to show for it. So a lot of people really put this technology into the bucket of, a bunch of crypto bros that are just pumping coins. I think now you're actually able to show demonstrable use cases, not even use cases. I think when you say use cases, it sounds still like an experiment, but actual asset classes that are processing hundreds of billions of dollars of transactions on a daily basis. You're seeing reconciliation being reduced. You're seeing operational risk being reduced, settlement risk being reduced. So I think that having these other asset classes that are already using the technology in real life is helping, at least for digital asset, when we're having conversations with the Fed, with the OCC, and with regulators globally to say, look, this is not a pipe dream, this is actual reality.
No, not on the FATF. On the question, is the aspiration of the Commonwealth to have a standardized framework to work to a possibility, or is it a pipe dream?
It's a reality. I think we've proved it with our model law. We took the initiative. Everybody told me 5 years ago that I could not do this, that there was no way that, and some countries still tell me that there was no way that we could put out a law that could be adopted by so many people. We went for it, I think because I'm not a lawyer. Maybe that's why I'm an economist. I don't do protocol very well, and I'm not a lawyer. I run businesses. I've run 3 global banks. So business opportunities to me are always very, very important. And we put together something that I think the world will follow, and it's happening. It's happening as we speak. As Professor Louis said, we've got countries that are adopting our law in the Commonwealth. We've got the bigger countries that argued against us that this was not possible, and now saying they're going to be implementing legislation in the next 3 months. So it's a reality.
And last but not least, the panel discussion host asks the question about crypto-based cross-border payments, and listen to what Loretta Joseph says about how this, i.e. crypto, is the only asset class in the world that can be sent anywhere in the world through a mobile connection, anytime, fast, seamless, and as easy as possible. Take a second and listen.
What is the present state of market? How can crypto-based cross-border payments overcome the challenges involved in traditional cross-border payments?
So one of the first use cases, I think, would be that it's extremely low cost. It cuts out the cost of intermediaries. It is extremely fast because there are not too many players that needs to be regulated and monitored in between. It's extremely transparent. We all agree and we believe in that once it's on blockchain, it's there. It's immutable. It's there. And fourth, it's extremely secure. These are the main drivers because, as we said in the beginning, every regulator is looking at customer protection, investor protection, and making sure that we're in compliance with AML and CFT regulations. Blockchain answers all of this in one go.
I think the remittance business is huge already, and this is proving I think this sector, that is where it's strongest at today, but it'll change, but it'll get bigger.
Finally, Loretta.
This is the only asset that I can have a telephone and send to all of you in this room, to anybody, anywhere in the world, instantaneously.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, after showing you this video breakdown and showing you all reputable individuals like Loretta Joseph with all of these expertise backing her career, reposting videos like this that we here at CYPRX are attempting to show you all to wake you up as to what is really happening behind the scenes, I hope that now you all can see that we're not here to fill your head with smoke. We're doing actual research via individual representatives that have legal backgrounds, working with regulators, jurisdictions, and countries all across the globe, reposting this information to show you all what is actually happening behind the scenes. So I hope that you all enjoyed today's video breakdown. If you did, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Make sure that you all stay forward looking and tap into research. I cannot stress enough, do not miss out on this massive opportunity via this digital transformation. It's not just cryptocurrency, ladies and gentlemen, it's the entire Web3 ecosystem as a whole. The entire financial system is changing hands. And now is the opportune moment for you to take it upon yourself to enlighten yourself on what is actually happening behind the scenes and not get distracted by the mainstream media pumping out information that is set to distract you and take your attention away from the positive developments that are actually ongoing, building out this new infrastructure so that way jurisdictions, major organizations can adopt these digital assets on a scale that we have never seen before. As always, be cognizant, be aware out there. Again, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video breakdown.